We're starting to get, when we get to number 3, we're getting into some more of the meat. This is meat too, don't get me wrong, but this some of that main course type stuff. So we started talking about health and wellness. Why am I talking to my significant other about health and wellness?
Keep that
Go ahead.
thing up. Oh, no, somebody else, man.
They're going back to 6. It's back to 6.
Health and wellness, keep that thing up.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Whoever. Why are we talking about health and wellness?
No, I said it because a lot of times women, their bodies are more complex, and this is something that they bring to us when we get married, that they're more cognizant, they're more comfortable with going to the doctor, because men are not. And so I think that's very important, because they'll push you to go to the doctor, push you to go to the dentist and things of that nature. So
You should work out.
yeah, or even if you don't want to work out. So health and wellness, women have to look at it more serious than men do, kind of, just the way they're made, so it's important.
Is that
And once you
just
lose your health, I mean, everything falls apart.
is that the I always thought it was interesting how men don't go to the doctor, but I always look at a couple of the things. One, we had a level of invincibility. I think 2, a lot of times you just can't afford it. Like you're gonna take care of yourself. As men in this room, we're gonna take care of ourselves last. We gotta make sure the children are good.
Yeah.
We gotta make sure the wife is good. We're last.
Yeah.
And then a lot of times we're like, I'm gonna be out of work for how many days and not really get my full paycheck cause my ankle hurt. That's why we look at a lot of these people that, and this is more being funny. We look at a lot of athletes like, man, I have a high ankle sprain, bruh.
If you don't go
Bruh.
to the doctor and you don't take care of your health and y'all not communicating that, then you get into obesity, what we talking about now. You get into cancers and all the other diseases that we have because we're not talking about health and wellness.
And I don't disagree with that. I just think that's the reason why we don't do it. I think that's why we don't do it. And then to show that you're hurting, that's a certain level of vulnerability. Now, how many men in here love to show they're vulnerable? Exactly. We can be hurting to death. I'm good. I think my kidney just failed. I'm okay. That's just not.
I'm gonna be a baby.
I think this is another big one. Financial planning and life
Always been my
insurance.
biggest fear, man. Like,
What's that?
I was just saying, it's always been my biggest fear, even when I was in college, man. Just thinking about seriously dating because, my LBs, everybody's like, I'm gonna marry them. They gonna marry their college sweetheart, whatever, like that. And I'm like, man, every girl I meet, they always sick. You know what I'm saying? I'm like you just got to think about that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't want to marry a patient. You know what I'm saying? Like, girls like, oh, I always got a headache, or you know what I'm saying, my period always, long, or all that. See, you know what I'm saying? Them is things that I think about. Because
are those real medical things, or is that the kind of how people can want to be baby? Like, how people want to be victim all the time? Like, I want to be baby.
I feel you, Mac, but I don't even care. Because at this point, because when you getting to know a person, you don't know them that well. I mean, that's what you thinking about. If you notice that, if you notice, she always sick. Something always wrong with her. You gotta think about it.
Responsibility to go into too. Like, am I gonna be taking care
Yeah.
of you?
Think about
the first woman I loved when I was in college, and I think subconsciously that's what stopped me from really pursuing that once we graduated. Because I was like, man, something wrong with her, and I don't think she know. I think she's scared to find out. You gotta think about that because you're thinking about genetics, man. You think about what kind of things hereditary getting passed down.
I think we get to another thing there.
You know what I'm saying? That's
when you
important.
start thinking about children, and so would that be a turn off if a woman had mental illness that was in her family and you meet her at a young age?
Oh, yeah.
That's something we gotta talk about.
I mean, but you gotta pay attention because people they be knowing and they gonna mask it on purpose because who wouldn't? You know what I'm saying? So you just gotta be paying attention to that. You know what I'm saying? Even before they become spouses.
Somebody crazy.
Go to that family cookout.
You go to that family cookout. He said the same thing you said, a family cookout. He said you're going to find it in a family, and you go to that family cookout. And I think that's a whole nother thing with talking about health and wellness, that's another thing that we don't talk about enough. And I don't know if that was in this part, the mental part of health.
Yeah,
or whatever.
mental
The mental
health.
part.
That's all the same.
I was gonna say those first 3 points, they all run together, between sex, communication, and health. And also, you was talking about obesity and everything. Not even the physical part, the mental aspect too.
That's right.
Now you're not communicating. You're not even saying a simple. I was told before that a simple good morning can just brighten somebody's day. simple telling your wife or significant other, you look good today. That can simply brighten their day. So I feel like once that health and wellness goes down and communication goes down, I feel like the whole foundation is over.
I wonder if women made this list, what was sex a record? What do you think?
They'll lie, but it's one. It's
It'll still be one.
It'll still be one. They'll lie, but
It'll
it's
be one. If it's just them, they gonna say it's wrong. But if it's a mixed group, they gonna put it at 10.
Yeah, they gonna lie.
Now watch this. Say it again, wait, y'all said the exact same thing.
Yeah, if it was all women, they gonna say it's number one. But if it's a mixed group, they might not even put it on the
He said
list.
they gonna mask. It's gonna be-
Yeah.
They gonna
They knew we knew about.
I'm gonna ask them how to find out.
we gonna do a list.
I think just real quick, because I want to get through everything. I thought it was very big, like that whole thing of like still flirting with your mate. You know what I'm saying? Like, look, like you come home now, I got something for you. Why don't you come through? I live it. I know. Come through. All right, so let's go to financial planning and literacy, life insurance. But y'all got a lot in this, but y'all got bang for your buck on that one. Talk to me about it.
I'll go ahead and take this one,
Yeah,
if y'all don't mind. You know, it's very important for you two to be on the same page as far as what you're going to do with your finances. So, you know, what are our goals as far as what are we going to save, what are we going to spend on, what are we going to purchase, and making sure that we know everything that we need to, in order to prepare ourselves for now and for the future.
I'm listening. I'm just grabbing my phone.
Oh no, you good.
Is this mine? Okay, this is mine. Okay, excuse me, brother. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I didn't want you to think I wasn't paying attention.
Oh no, you good. So, you know, of those top 5 conversations, and I don't know if anybody else's household is the same as mine, but also those top 5 arguments usually money is gonna be
Say it again for the people in the back. People in the back in here. Say it again.
one of the top 5 arguments you're gonna have in your marriage is money.
Let me see the Holy Spirit right here. Top five gonna be the top 5 arguments. That's a mind blowing concept. There, like wow, the top most important 5 things gonna be the top most things you gonna argue. Everybody agree with that top 5?
I agree.
Yeah. Say what else?
I said that makes sense.
That makes perfect sense. Now, you said something about financial planning, literacy, life insurance. Y'all had a conversation over there where y'all talking about I forget how it came up, talking about when a woman makes more money. That has never been an issue with me, because I look at it like this is an odd thing. Like that don't stop me from being that don't stop me from being a man. It don't stop me from being a man. So that whole woman makes more, I look at it like it's us. If I make more, it's us. I was there at the church when the man said I do. I was there. I got it on video. We together. All right. Now I'm not married, but that's my whole point. That's what I'm saying though. Like if we together, we together. Your issues, my issues, vice versa. Blah blah blah. So I think this is a big thing right now I'm getting into. Not that he deserves anything, but I look at it like life insurance.
What was that? What you say? Exit plan. What you say? Exit plan.
But I think a lot of times we just think this is just to put us in the ground, but this is to make sure your family lives a certain way. And I'm like, my thought process now is like, okay, if I'm buying a house and I pass away, I'm like, my house is not for me. I'm not gonna pay this off in enough time to really, really enjoy it. But if I'm no longer here, now I can say, hey, you already don't have any student loans. Hey, here's a house. Now you don't have any mortgage payments. Don't marry somebody or get too fancy where it's like, well, I can't stay here. Shut up. It's paid for. Shut up. But that's what that's for, like to build wealth, to be able to say, okay, put me in the ground for $3,000, but here's a $150,000 policy. You know what I'm saying? So now you got $147,000 that's yours.
That's come back around for us in our community, because I know growing up, I didn't hear about life insurance. Now my mom and dad, they had the bonds and they spent them, you know, all of a sudden. But life insurance was never one of those things that was talked about, because how many times y'all talk about how we're gonna bury somebody and that's it?
But a lot of that goes to the scam part too. That they were selling us. Guys used to come to the house and you pay. You know what I'm saying? You barely got enough money to put somebody in the ground.
So now that's become more important now
Say
for our
again?
generation.
Oh, I didn't know that, but that's what I figured. Now watch this. Now watch this. I want to say this. These people come to you with these life insurance policies. Now, you in your moment of need, you hurting, You done lost somebody. You hurting, so you vulnerable. Well, brother, we want to say this nice casket here. This one, we seal it off so no water will seep in there. Can I dig them up and you show me that? Can I get my money back there? That makes no sense.
Right.
I'm gonna sell you a casket, the water won't sweep in. You wanna make sure you put it away nice. That's stupid.
Right.
Yeah, brother, you can put you can put all her jewelry and stuff in it, but this is a little more expensive casket. They charge you for how many folds is in the program when you get ready to do this. But you're vulnerable, you're not thinking. When my grandmother passed away, the dude didn't like me. I said, hey man, you put all that shit, what kind of gas is that? We ain't about to do all that. We ain't about to do all that. That don't prove that I love them more or less or whatever. Okay, so that's life insurance. Spirituality, I see Wader here. Wader must have fought for that. What's this about?
No. He had
Only
the
because-
introspect on it. He had the introspect.
Okay.
This is the only reason why that was important for me, right? Because when you're talking about when you're talking about building with a person, right? You're establishing a foundation and who's gonna lead this, that, and the third. I think in any group, in any team, in any organization, whatever it's gonna be, there has to be some type of something bigger than those two people. There has to be like a rule of law within that group.
Wait, that's a poet right there. Rule of love.
Don't do that.
Rule of love.
It gotta be something that says, okay, I can submit and I can follow you because I know that where you getting, you know what I'm saying, your ideas from and everything that you're thinking is aligned with something that I believe in as well. Like whatever that moral compass is, whatever that, whatever that thing is that you believe that's greater than the two of you, like you both agree to it so you can trust each other because you know that there's a checks and balances system that we both, subscribe to.
So wait a minute. So is it a moral code or is it a religious code? Because you said spiritual.
I didn't say religion.
Yeah, spirituality. That's why I came back. Spirituality. Can two people of two different faiths that are can they coexist?
Yes, I think so. But I mean, it's something you gotta really, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, I see. It's a head shake. What you say?
Really
Two?
talk about.
Oh, wait a minute.
That's why I think it's important.
Wait, what's the
That's
question?
just
The question is, can two people? Oh, I see some head shaking over here. Let me slide so I can see the whole room. That's what I'm missing.
That's all I
Can two people with different religious beliefs coexist? And
But
I say I think you can. You just have to be respectful.
There you go.
And
you gotta be willing to talk
Not
about it.
religion though. Not
Yeah, he
religion,
said
not necessarily
spirituality.
religion,
He talking about spirit. He talking about spirituality. That's
It
different.
goes.
So what's the
together.
difference?
It's hand in hand. It goes. I feel like they gotta be on the same page, whatever they believe in.
Really? By what means?
That's what I'm saying. They gotta look
Y'all
into
really
the
wanna have this
conspiracy-
conversation about? Y'all wanna do that? I want to understand it. What's the difference between spirituality, show and prove spirituality, first and foremost, and what's the difference between a religion?
Yeah.
And also, between the two, do they make you a slave?
One of those things. One of those things is man-made. Our religions are man-made. Spirituality is something that's your connection with the universe and
Show and prove that.
It
Because
just depends who religion you're talking about.
Yeah.
well, I'll say it like this. I think it's okay. Like I know some people would defend and say, well, hey, this may not be man-made, and I respect that. But the main ones that we're looking at, these come from individuals' thoughts, ideas, philosophies. But if you follow that, that's fine. That's just like if you do something, brother, that if you're a welder, that's your trade.
True.
If I follow you as a welder, you know what I'm saying, that's cool, I'm gonna follow you. But if I wanna do brick masonry, I can't follow you because you're not a brick mason.
True indeed.
But
But you can show and prove brick mason and welding.
So
You can show and prove the financial, and you can show and prove the physical attributes of the boat.
So,
Two of those.
so when we go to spirituality, when we start talking about can two people believe in two different things and be together, my thing, and I want you to speak on it too, because what you just said, like, I think it goes back to a respect thing. You're not gonna agree with everybody on everything, but I think there's always gonna be some beliefs that you're gonna be totally opposite on. So maybe the question is yes and no. Some things if you believe in this faith and I believe in this one, we can't. That's gonna be hard. But some are more connected, and some philosophies are more connected, you may be able to do it. But I know Crockett said he didn't really think so. I know you said you didn't really think so. And you said something I was trying to get, because you said what religion? That's because I think when we say religion, I know me, I think of the big one, more popular, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I don't think about, you know what I'm saying?
And you gotta look who brought you those religions. You know what I'm saying? That's their perspective.
Right.
We gotta get back to our thing.
So you saying the white people
So does that
No.
make you a traditional slave?
Hold on, wait. Good.
That's completely different.
Here's where we go wrong with our queens with this, right? Here's where we go wrong. because what we end up trying to do is use logic to try to get them to agree with whatever it is that we want them to do, right? And like amongst us, we can debate, back and forth about, saying the validity of religion and all that. We can do that till the cows come home, because that's what we like to do, right? We're gonna have succinct arguments, and everything's gonna be lucid, and we're gonna go for it. We're gonna have our points and all of that. When it comes to a woman, man, it's about just coming to a place with her where you decide, okay, what is it that we are going to do? Like, how is this gonna work out? Because 9 times out of 10, what they be wanting is to know, okay, well, I mean, are your religious beliefs or your spiritual beliefs so, like, different from mine that we're not gonna be able to celebrate Christmas or Thanksgiving or do stuff with my family, and like, that's all they be caring about at the end of the day. They wanna take cute pictures, they wanna sit the child on Santa's lap, they wanna know that you're gonna be down for that and you're gonna be a participant, and they're not gonna be alone in that. So that's where the spirituality comes, that's why I think it's important, because of what is really important to them at the end of the day.
How many, that you make some points real quick, and we're gonna push on, I want to get both sides. How many of you have been in that situation where, I never did the Santa Claus thing or whatever with him, but I've never bought him a Christmas present, but he did that on his mom's side. But my thing was, Christmas is every day. If he's asked me for something on December 22nd, and he said, "Can I get this for Christmas?" I said, "No, you can get it today. We can go buy this video game today and play with it." But I think a lot of that are the things that go along with holidays and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't have to celebrate the 4th of July, but you telling me I go to a cookout and eat and have fun and play spades and do all that? I do that all day, but I don't have to celebrate it. You know what I'm saying? So I think those are very interesting points. But how many? I think, like I said, how many? Yeah, it's kind of real quick, can somebody give me an example like y'all dealt with this? Because I know we got a lot of different belief systems in the room. Have y'all had a situation where?
I know I got real close family members that changed their way of thinking, but their significant other refused to do so. And once that happened, it was always an argument about the smallest thing. It was always an argument because my truth absorbs what you think is the truth. And I can show and prove my truth. If you can't show and prove your truth, you can only tell me what somebody's maybe told you over the years or something like that. So, and then in turn, it made them go
separate ways or whatever.
Right.
And maybe that's a conversation they should have had at the beginning.
That's right.
Let's go to this one. This one right here. Accurate.
That's what happened. They were the same in the beginning, but during the process of living and reading and studying, you know what I mean, one changed and the other
Things
one.
changed,
Based on
A lot of us was blind, and
Based
now
on
we
life
waking.
experiences people
And
everybody don't wanna wake
You
with
know
it.
the hardest thing to do, I think, regardless of your belief system, is to show somebody something. If they're so embedded in something, this not even talk about religion. Let's just, like, the person that was like, the world is flat, it's flat, it's flat. And then here you come, man, the world is round. Man, that dude, what you talking
I'm
about?
gonna
The world
say
is
that's a
crazy.
religion, because when you get, we talk about researching and basing things off of what it means. When you say the word religion, we're talking about something that binds you. So when somebody says flat earth, that's the thing that binded them. That's the thing that they bonded with, and they
So they're fighting for the
operate
ball.
off.
They're not even fighting for this thing for the
No,
belief.
they operate off of that belief. Like, that is literally the perspective that they wake up with every day and how they view the world.
Yeah.
And so when you come in, you try to mess up that religion or that binding, they'll fight you if it's not close to what they're
The belief
they're
in the
learning.
revelation is the crux of the issue, no pun, but I mean, that's what it is. Like,
I feel like what we're doing now is more in the culture than we are like religion. Cause hearing y'all talking, like y'all saying it's more culture and culture and culture. Cause I feel like religion and culture is two different
They
things.
are. And I don't see religion and culture being one and the same.
They-
That's
like-
why spirituality and religion at the same
They
time.
connect, but you're
How
right.
so?
They
How so?
They
connect.
connected
Because your culture is your way of
Your
living.
culture,
Yeah.
Culture is a way of living. Your religion is something that you rely upon.
No.
So why not?
No.
You said if you embedded in it, right?
Your religion, like that
Religion,
person that-
religios means to rely upon.
to
We didn't say
bind,
religion,
what
we said
binds you.
What
So
is
that
the
person-
I mean, yeah. And that's why I said something. And that's why I said something, because we went from
When you wanna
spirituality
get down to it.
Yeah, I think
to religion to culture.
I think let's bring it back, guys. I think let's bring it back. I think when we start talking about, it's hard to separate spirituality and religion, because it's the first thing we say. It's like saying Jordans, but Jordans are Nikes, no matter how you fix it. But it's like, but they're not the same thing. I think it's hard because that's just where we go. I want to keep pushing though. Discipline children. Speak on it. That's number 6, important. So disciplining children more is these things are more important than disciplining children. What's that conversation like? Let's go. Anybody who's from that group? What's disciplining children? Why we need to have that conversation? We can be very brief. Why we need to have that conversation with our significant
You're
other?
raised in 2 different households, and the way you discipline your kids, you got to be on the same page. One want to spank, one don't want to spank.
How hard was that for people in that group that have children? I know everybody can't speak. How hard was that with your significant other? How that was supposed to be taken care of?
Extreme sometimes.
I feel like when this brother talk, everybody supposed to listen. 'Cause he's so laid back. You know what I'm saying? Like extreme is sometimes. Speak on it.
Because even example, like sometimes women, they want to do things a woman's way. Men, we want to do things a man's way, and they just can't, like what he was saying, they can't fathom that. They thinking of it from a woman's point of view. So let's just say with my son, like if he got in trouble, depending on what he got in trouble for, I may look the other way, because that's a boy being a boy. But for her, it was, I can't believe you didn't chastise him for this particular thing he did. When I'm saying that's actually helping him become a man, to understand that when he go outside and he have a fight, he has to learn how to fight. So I'm not gonna be mad at him. Now, if he's being a bully, that's different. But if he's just outside, and he ends up in a fight with another kid, that's nothing to be disciplined about. But for her, it's like, oh, I can't believe
So is that part of that too? Not just how we're gonna discipline the children, but what we're gonna discipline them about. Because you just made a good point. Like I'm not gonna punish him if somebody say your mama sleep with a whole bunch of men and he punch you in the mouth. Like I'm not mad at that.
Yeah,
But if
at
you're just
all.
going around giving me your milk money, then that's
Yeah.
a little different.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? I'm not. When it comes to young ladies,
You're
that-
gonna discipline them a little bit differently than
I think.
it should be that way, but it doesn't.
No. We talked. It's funny. You said we talked about it in one of the last classes about some men and women are different, so you're gonna have to respond to things differently. I can't sit beside Croc, and we sit. If me and Croc, if I sit in that chair and sit right beside him, and we taking selfies or whatever, that just don't look right. But 2 women who've actually been with other women, but maybe not now, can take that same picture and there's nothing said about it. We're different genders, so we have to deal with things differently. So I'm not, so I definitely feel like you're gonna discipline maybe your son for something that maybe you wouldn't discipline your
It's
daughter for.
important, man. Like you gotta be on the same page. Gotta be on the same page with it, and it don't necessarily have to be always the same roles. Like what I'm saying, my father never had to beat me physically. My mother did it all the time. My mother felt like that's what she needed to do to establish her authority. My father knew that
That
like,
base was enough.
this kid idolizes me. If I talk to him my way, he gonna feel where I'm coming from, and I don't gotta put my hands on him.
It's like
Like,
coaching.
but like I know they never had a conversation about it. I know they never had a conversation about it, and the reason I know that is because my father beat the crap out of my brother. So like I know that they just went to different. They just did it differently.
They
You know what I'm
seem like
saying?
they were connected in a way that it's like when you throw that alley oop and I ain't even gotta look, I know you about to get it out the sky. Like they just knew, like, hey, I got this, and maybe when the conversation need to be had, because they just know, okay, Waylon need this right here. I'm gonna bust Waylon tail. Well, let me talk to him. He'll be all right. But my brother, you gotta talk to him in a language he understands. You might have to
Yeah,
get
me
that.
and him different.
Yeah.